Today we are talking about the top 10 celebrities that hate Jonah Hill. Starting off with number 10, Jennifer Lawrence. Lawrence revealed how difficult it was to film alongside Hill. She explained how he consistently came up with off-the-cuff insults, which made it very hard to achieve continuity on set. The Hunger Games and X-Men star was speaking to Vanity Fair about her experience making the film, as well as working with other illustrious names like Hill and Streep. Her hatred of the teasing by her co-star was not a visceral one, however, she explained that he did it only in jest and that it always ended up in laughter. It was really hard filming with Jonah and just not ruining take after take, laughing, she said. So remarkable were Hill's insults of Lawrence that the cast actually set aside one whole day for them. We one time dedicated an entire day to him just improvising insults at me, Lawrence said. It was amazing. Him and Meryl are the only ones who should do that kind of improv. He's a comedic master. We all did some stuff, but not as well as Jonah. On to number 9, Sarah Brady. Sarah Brady, the professional surfer and law student who previously dated Jonah Hill, has released more screenshots of alleged text messages between her and the actor in August 2022, showing a conversation about his then new relationship with Olivia Miller. In the screenshots which Brady shared on Instagram stories, Hill allegedly wrote, "I know I don't need to, but in the spirit of pure respect to our friendship and appreciation for each other, I did want to be transparent that I did start dating someone recently." He allegedly continues, "I'm sorry if that is painful, it just happened and I didn't want to not be transparent with you ever, as I care about you." In the screenshots, Brady responds in a text the next day by asking Hill to respect her. Own personal chicks before dicks code, and make the women aware of how recently you've been flirting with me, sexting me, and leaning on me for partner-level emotional support. Yikes. In response, Hill allegedly asked Brady not to ruin all the kindness, "You're better than that." Brady then responded with a screenshot of intimate texts between them, with Hill responding saying, "Screenshotting intimate texts is a huge triggering violation for me and breach of trust as a friend." He goes on to tell her that you have been treated, in fact, incredibly, both emotionally and financially. This flood of screenshots of alleged exchanges is a continuation of Brady's public claims that began last week, accusing Hill of controlling and gaslighting behavior during the relationship that started in 2021 and ended sometime in 2022. She showed more screenshots of alleged texts from Hill claiming that "your therapist thinks I suck. I literally am the best boyfriend on earth." She also claims he told her to delete photos of herself in swimsuits, not to surf with men, and cut off friendships with unstable women, among other demands. On to number 8, Christopher Mintz-Plasse. Jonah Hill immediately hated Christopher after their audition together. Hill was already cast in the film and was reading scenes opposite actors auditioning to play Fogel, aka McLovin. That's when Mintz-Plasse came in the room for a third callback. Chris was really amazing off the bat, and I think he was really annoying to me at that time, Hill said. Producer Judd Apatow remembered the audition more vividly, saying Mintz-Plasse was very caustic and attacked Jonah and did improvs insulting Jonah. He played it like he was clearly the coolest guy in the room and everyone else was a nerd and a loser. Director Greg Mottola said of Mintz-Plasse's audition, "He was Dean Martin instead of Jerry Lewis." Jonah immediately hated him, remembered Seth Rogen, who co-wrote and starred in the film. He was like, "That was fucking with my rhythm. I couldn't perform with that guy." Apatow added, "Jonah said, I don't like that guy, I don't want him doing it, and I said that's exactly why we're hiring him. He couldn't be more perfect. The fact that it bothers you is exactly what we want." Mintz-Plasse was ultimately cast as McLovin opposite Hill as Seth and Michael Cera as Evan, and the three's chemistry would go a long way into making Superbad one of the most beloved high school comedies ever made. Despite the film's critical acclaim and $107 million worldwide gross, a sequel never got off the ground despite Apatow's best wishes. Everyone was like, "Nah, we don't want to screw up Superbad by accidentally making a crappy second one," Apatow said earlier on the Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum podcast, and I would always say the same thing. Well, that's like saying you don't make the second episode of The Sopranos. Like, so why do you think we would screw up the second one? True. I always wanted them to do a sequel to Superbad, Apatow said earlier in the interview. I know that Jonah Hill said, oh, it'll be funny to do it when we're 70 or 80, but I really wanted them to do a Superbad in college where Jonah flunks out of college and just shows up and visits Michael Cera at college. Mintz-Plasse said in 2021 that a Superbad sequel would not be a bad idea, but he stressed that a female version would be the way for sure. Number 7, speaking of Judd Apatow. And also speaking of Superbad, the movie delighted audiences with its irreverent humor, and it's probably no surprise that the cast could be just as crude as the characters they played. The director Judd had no problem with bad language in the movie. There is an astonishing number of uses of one curse in particular, except on one day in particular. On that occasion, he was trying to protect the ears of his 9-year-old daughter. It didn't go well. Once Apatow and the cast of Superbad got together to record a commentary for a special edition DVD, according to What Culture, Apatow let everyone know that because he was with his daughter, who was only 9 at the time, he expected everyone to watch their language. That was a tall order for the rowdy bunch, but they managed to make it about halfway through without incident. Jonah Hill was the one to slip, leading to an argument between him and Apatow. Hill made fun of the director for turning the day's recording into Take Your Daughter to Work Day. In the end, Apatow took his daughter and left. They had tickets to the musical Spam-A-Lot anyway, suggesting that the whole scene was just an excuse for them to get away early. Once they were gone, the rest of the cast cut loose and relaxed with all the curses they'd been repressing. On to number 6, Jimmy Kimmel. Jonah has come a long way from the guy who played Seth in Superbad, and that's a good thing. First of all, you smell good, which is surprising, Jimmy Kimmel joked as Jonah Hill sat down for his first late-night show interview in 2 years. Jonah looked taken aback by the comment. Why is that surprising? He responded earnestly before jumping back into the talk show guest role and laughing off the gentle jab. Hill, whose birth name is Feldstein, has likely heard some version of that joke aimed at his appearance or weight loss many times before. Besides smelling good, the actor who got his first big screen start in Judd Apatow's 40-year-old version has gone through a bit of a transformation in his career. In terms of his profession, Hill has come through in the past few months with a unique flavor of new projects that vary from his typical ones. On to number 5, Jay Baruchel. Jay addressed how the 2013 hit comedy This Is the End required him to exploit his real-life acrimony with his in-film antagonist, Jonah Hill, for on-screen sparks. Jonah and I don't get along super well, or at least didn't back then, he admitted, of his knocked-up How to Train Your Dragon and Night at the Museum 2 co-star. When told that his distaste comes through in the comedy film where celebrities are supposed to be playing a fictionalized version of themselves, Baruchel's response was a curt and concise, yeah, no fucking shit it does. Damn. If you've seen the movie This Is the End, Baruchel and Hill's scenes stick out as the most memorable and enduringly quotable moments. 10 years after the comedy grossed $126 million on a $36 million budget, but for Baruchel, that success came at a price. Jay says that the humor between them came about in the most commoditized capitalist way of like, we're gonna dig up real personal shit, but nobody's going to go home feeling better about it. We're just gonna turn it into a fucking product. On to number 4, Billy Crystal. Actor/comedian Billy began the 2012 Academy Awards ceremony with the traditional opening tune, but he might have overstepped his boundaries with one pun. Halfway through the humorous tune, Crystal poked some fun at actor Jonah Hill's weight, making a reference to post-ceremony cupcakes. If you lose, I think that you should know that there's cupcakes after the show, Crystal sang to Hill during his song. Awkward, and also not cool. On to number 3, paparazzi. The actor had to apologize for using a homophobic slur towards one of the paparazzi who mocked his floral print shorts. TMZ posted a video that shows paparazzi following Hill in LA. One person can be heard heckling Hill. At the end of the minute-long video, the 2-time Academy Award nominee tells the heckler, "Suck my you F word." Hours after the video was posted, Hill went on the Howard Stern show to apologize for using the slur. "What I said in that moment was a disgusting and hurtful term," Hill said. "I should have either said nothing or just F you." Number 2, French TV. Jonah Hill appeared on French television program Le Grand Journal, and the interview quickly went south after an excruciating exchange between the War Dogs star and host Ornella Fleury. The TV personality started by ridiculing Hill's appearance, saying, "It's when I saw you get sodomized by a 3-meter tall demon in This Is the End that I told myself, now that's the man of my dreams." Jonah responded by saying, "I'm glad I came to the show to get ridiculed by a local weather girl. It's nice." The actor reportedly canceled his remaining French TV appearances over the tense exchange. Awkward. And finally, number 1, Kanye West. Kanye has a newfound appreciation for Jonah Hill and apparently the Jewish community too after watching 21 Jump Street, which he later decided to reveal on his Instagram account along with a long caption adding, "Thank you Jonah Hill, I love you." Throughout 2022, he lost over $1 billion in net worth and lucrative brand partnerships with Gap, Adidas, and Balenciaga due to his actions and statements just like this one. He's also without a record contract, was dropped by his talent agency, and saw a string of planned concerts canceled. Seems like more of an L for Kanye than it was for Jonah in that last one, but that is all for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more juicy news, and I'll catch you next time on The Rich Life.